Okay, hello everybody. I am so delighted to have Donna Drozda here from Wren House Studio. And Donna has been an artist, I believe, most of her life. We're going to make sure she tells the story the way she wants to have it authentically come out. And Donna is just an amazing woman. She does all sorts of amazing spiritual roles, artistic roles, and really just making our world better, and certainly my world better. So I'm very grateful to Donna for being in my life, from guiding me to my creativity spurring on, as well as my life cycle counseling that I've done with you every month since about maybe 2013 or 14. I didn't look it up, but quite a while, I believe, right, Donna?
Yeah, yes, it has been a while, and
Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, well, thank you again. Well, I thought it would be really nice for people to see with Soul Soaring that it's not just a good book of poetry. And so I sought you out and we talked a little bit about if you'd be willing to work on this project. But I'd like to hear first a little bit about your artistic background and what you want to share so we get to know you a little better.
Absolutely. Thank you, Valerie. It's wonderful. And I'm
Thank
so happy to be here with whoever picks this up and then goes and gets your book, Soul Soaring. And
you.
I'd just like to say a couple words about the poetic nature of our lives. And when we sit down and read a poem, there's something that happens in our heart. Poetry opens our heart like almost nothing else can in terms of written words. So I'm very excited to be able to collaborate with you on the project in the way that you invited me in, and that was to take some of the poems and put a line drawing to them. And I happen to have a couple of my mock-ups in
Oh,
front of me that I'll hold up in a couple minutes.
okay.
But first, let me just address the lovely inquiries that you made.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been an artist all my life. I think sometimes we just arrive knowing what we're here to do.
Yeah.
And so my first paid illustration was when I was 10 years old. And it was
Wow.
for a union. My dad was a carpenter, and so it was for the Carpenters Union. And they asked me
Okay.
if I would illustrate some, I think they asked me to actually do a cartoon for their newspaper, and then
Uh-huh.
they paid me cash for it. And it was just really
Wow.
lovely to have that happen at age 10.
Yes.
And I've always been inclined to tromp around in nature
Mhm.
and watch birds and track animals and be with my dogs outdoors. And so that also has fed into my love of mark making, watching the way that leaves make patterns on the ground
Mm,
and animals make tracks in the soft sand.
yeah.
So picking up a pencil and pen and working with pen and ink, as I've done for Soul Soaring, has been a part of my life all my life. I'm also a painter. I'm
Mhm.
also a writer. And I am also a creative coach with Life Cycle. So all those things coming together make a very, very rich and wonderful and exciting and ever-changing life. When you invited me to
Mhm.
take part in your beautiful project, I was thrilled because there's something about the ability to sit down, and I would invite any of the listeners here to just read a poem and then close their eyes and sense into the visual imagery that comes up for them,
Yeah.
because it's different for each of us.
Mhm.
And it really supports us going deeper into what the poem is about and what the poet is conveying. So for example, when I read your poems that you sent over to me before the book was published,
Yes.
obviously,
Mhm.
I want to show you just my first draft for in pencil for
Uh-huh.
a poem that's called Mother Earth. This is going to crinkle a little bit because it's on thin paper.
It's
But
okay.
Mother Earth gave me an almost instantaneous image from the words. And again, when people pick up Soul Soaring and turn to the page that has the poem Mother Earth, read it and then close your eyes and see what comes for you, because it's going
Yeah.
to be different for each of us.
Mhm.
I'm hoping that you can see the first draft of the image,
Mhm.
and Mother Earth holds all of us. And so that was the first thing that came to me.
Yeah.
And Mother Earth streams down. If you can see how the water or hair comes down and holds the figure, and how Mother Earth is always sprouting. And this is our lungs. And our lungs come from, our connection to the breath with the Earth Mother. And from the pencil drawing, I simply go into a pen and ink, brush and ink, and add more detail to it. So there's something very spontaneous about that technique that doesn't allow for mistakes, but gives us surprises. So always an artist, loved being invited to collaborate with you with Soul Soaring. And that's a little bit about me.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. And it's so interesting because, we get to connect and talk at a certain level, but just there, it brings a whole new insight, even for me looking at your drawing that goes with the poem.
Yeah.
So, wow, really and beautiful. And you can see Donna works in a really intuitive way. And that's one of the things that I've loved with working with you is just, again, that connection to nature and to really fine tuning, like you said, tuning into who you are, Now tell us a little bit with Wren House Studio. Like, where can people find you? What other types of work can they get involved with you? Because I think you have so much to offer and so much wisdom.
Thanks so much, Valerie. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Well, I have a couple of websites, and they're both based on my name. So it would be Donna Iona Drozda.com, and that's my painting website and my teaching website. And then my coaching website is DonnaIonaDrozda.com/life cycle. And life cycle is my baby. I don't talk a lot about it, but I'm going to be doing more of that coming into the future, because I invented life cycle when I had owned a gallery. And it's so funny, Valerie, because I think that you came to me in the same way saying, I don't think I'm creative.
I did.
I think a lot of us feel that way,
Yeah.
I can't draw, so therefore I'm not creative.
Right.
But the fact that we get up each day and we impact the quality of our day, that's our creativity. So if we're having a bummy day and we get a grip, and kind of turn ourselves around, that's our creative energy right there. And so I love to share a life cycle with people, because it helps plug us in like an electrical socket. We plug our energy into our character, our own unique character. Yours is different from mine, and everybody's is their own. And then along with our character, we want to learn more about our purpose. Why are we here? And that can all be sort of extrapolated from the energy of our birth date and the name that we've been given at our birth. And then into that, I add handwriting, because if I can look at the way you make marks on paper, ooh la la.
I agree.
You might remember you sent
do.
me over a photocopy of your writing at one point a few years ago when we started working up again. And I said, we really need the actual sample. We really need to see what's going on. And when we can connect with the way you and I and each of us makes marks on paper, there's just such a wealth of creative energy locked into that mark making movement.
Yeah, boy, isn't that the truth? I think about so many different pieces that you bring, because I think it's not just that in-depth, nature that you're connected to, but how you're so connected to all of the universe. And when you put that together with our name and our handwriting, every session is so inspiring. And like you said, my biggest concern was how I'm not an artist. You're asking me to get pens and pencils to draw, and I'm thinking, no way. I love doing it every month. So it is. So, I can't tell you again what a wonderful woman Donna is. Definitely check out, Donna Iona Drozda and Wren House Studios. And if you need anything else, we're looking forward to have Soul Soaring. And, one other thing too, that I just thought of, if you don't mind, was about the cover. You made beautiful art and had me choose choose a cover. And I knew right away which one it was, even though I made sure I sat on it, because I can be really I know often right away what I need, but
Yeah.
sometimes when you sit with something that might change, it did not. And
Yeah.
then when you told me what it meant,
Yeah.
so, and this is just the mock-up, it's not final, but
Oh, it
what,
doesn't, it looks beautiful.
yeah, I know, look at that, I know. So it's not finished, but it's
I
almost
know.
done, I know. But
Oh, it's so
but
great to see.
tell us about what the word and what it represents.
Well, that is the bodhicitta heart.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking. Bodhicitta is, I think the easiest way to translate the term bodhicitta is it's loving compassion. And it is made up of a whole series of words that include things like compassion, kindness, joy, and the equanimity. That's another one. It's a
Good one.
Tibetan, it's a Tibetan term.
Uh-huh.
And I've been in Tibetan Buddhist school for 12 years.
Wow.
And I went to Tibet, and a bodhicitta heart is an open, compassionate heart. And that's a tough number in the world.
Yes, it is.
Because we don't know if it's okay to trust and to extend ourselves and even to be as big as we can be. We kind of shrink down thinking, who am I? But a bodhicitta heart is just an open heart. And it goes along very beautifully with another word from Tibetan Buddhism that I'll share because it's such a lovely term. If we have a bodhicitta heart, then we are in line to be a bodhisattva. And a bodhisattva is a Tibetan term for an angelic form. And so I'm sorry, I've often thought of you as a bodhisattva.
Thank you.
Because you're
very
so
kind.
deeply engaged in healing work, again, on so many levels.
Yes.
When we engage with a holistic approach to life, doors just keep opening.
Yeah.
You keep walking through.
I know.
And so that would be the bodhicitta heart and the bodhisattva approach to life on planet Earth.
Wow. So as you can see, just by having that title and that beautiful artwork right in your hands, I hope it's going to bring all of us more wonder, open-heartedness, right? Because we've all had our heart broken and we want to keep it open for that joy, right? And that connection.
That's for sure.
So yeah, well, Donna, again, it was a pleasure talking with you today. Anything else you'd like to say to wrap it up?
I would just like to say to all of the listeners to really open your heart and allow a copy of this book to land in your hands. And don't feel like you have to read it cover to cover.
No.
Place it on your nightstand. And before you go to sleep at night, do bibliomancy, Bible crack it. Just close your eyes, open the book, and read one poem or just read one stanza of each poem. Just a little nibble.
Yes.
Before you go to sleep is going to be the best way to allow soul soaring to begin to kind of sink into your bodhicitta heart, because we all have one.
Yes, we do. Well, thank you again, Donna, and everybody for listening. And we look forward to having you enjoy Soul Soaring. It should be out in February or March. Yay. And again, we send everybody lots of love and wonder and everything you need and want in this lifetime.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Valerie.
Thank you. Thank you, Donna.